Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be why you're stuck in friend zone. Well, I've got two emails from two different viewers, and obviously the topic we're going to go over today is how to get out of friend zone and things to do to not get yourself stuck there. A lot of guys, after a relationship breaks up and they're trying to get back together with the ex, they get that dreaded let's just be friends type of speech. Now, there obviously is a number of reasons why a woman will give a guy that label or ask him to be what I like to call friend zone purgatory, if you will, because obviously for a guy it's fucking torture to be in friend zone and be involved with a girl, but yet strictly have something platonic when he wants something more. And this first guy here was doing all right, and he's like a classic case of why, just like what I talk about in the video I did years ago called The Best Strategy to Get an Ex Back. I talk about it in videos all the time. It's like when a woman sticks you in friend zone and you don't want to go along with it, you've got to make your intentions clear, let her know that you want her and you desire her, you think she's spectacular and amazing and all those kinds of things. However, being stuck in friend zone just doesn't work for you, and you are uninterested in that. And the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And so when a guy says, I don't want to be put in friend zone, and then he walks away, but then he holds out for a week or two or a few weeks and he calls her back, when he does that, he's basically not being congruent with his words. Because his words were, I'm not interested in being friends, give me a call if you change your mind, and then he walks away, and a couple of weeks later when he can't take it anymore because he hasn't heard from her, he's worried he's never going to hear from her again, he calls her up, asks her out on a date, and then the guy wonders why he never gets anywhere. It's because you tell a woman, give me a call if you change your mind, give me a call if it doesn't work out with that other guy, if there happens to be another dude that she chose over you, and then you walk and never look back. When you tell a woman that, and then a few days later or a few weeks later, you call her up, you're basically communicating that you're okay with being friends only. And that is not going to help you get her back. The key is to walk and never look back and be congruent with that. And so this first guy's email, obviously before I get into it, I got a quote I'm going to share with you, but this is like a classic case of why, because he wonders why he's still stuck in friend zone. And it's because he walked away, but then he got afraid, he didn't hear from her, he couldn't take it anymore, it was driving him bananas because he loves her so much. And then he reaches out to her and he goes and he has a date and then doesn't get anywhere with her. She's cold, she's distant, and obviously he's frustrated. And no amount of you wanting a woman to treat you a certain way is going to force her or cause her to want to treat you a certain way when you go back under these circumstances. That has to be her idea. And meaning that when she realizes that if she doesn't get in touch with you, you're never going to speak again. If she doesn't do anything to make the relationship happen, that you're gone forever. If you still mean something to her or she values you in her eyes, then she's going to reach out to you because she's not going to let you just disappear from her life. But when you don't give her the time, the space to develop those feelings, it's totally counterproductive. And if you held out for 3 weeks or a month or so, you call a girl out and you ask her out on a date after she gave you the let's just be friends speech, in her mind she's thinking you're going along with being friends only, and she's going to bring that up again. Well, I thought we were just friends. And the guy says, well, I told you I wasn't only interested in being friends. In the back of her mind, she's thinking, well, if you told me that, then why did you call me and ask me out? Because I told you that's all I can give you right now. So I got a quote that I wrote on this topic I want to share with you before we get into it. And it says, when a woman puts a man in friend zone, it can be for many reasons. The most common is because the guy does not act like a man is supposed to act. This is often due to his acting too nice, not standing up for himself, being too indecisive or timid, acting weak or needy, lacking confidence, acting unsure, etc. Friend zone can also be a purgatory where women put guys who they like, but who they presently are unsure of whether or not they measure up or are worthy to date or hook up with. Friend zone purgatory can also be a place where women put guys who are on standby or backup mode in case things don't work out with their primary lover. Any self-respecting or self-loving man will never wait around or tolerate being placed in friend zone for any reason. Why? Men who value themselves and what they have to offer are simply not going to wait around on indecisive or unavailable women, because to do so would only inhibit and delay attracting the right woman for them. So let's go ahead and get into this guy's email. And you're going to see the first thing he says is just making you go. It's like this is the ultimate act of self-bullshitting. He says, Corey, I just could not help myself. Well, you wonder why you stuck in friend zone. It's because you're acting like a woman instead of a man. He says, I contacted my ex. She was extremely happy to hear from me, and we agreed to meet up. She came over to my house at noon because that's the only time I could have the place all to myself. Doesn't really matter because you're the one who reached out to her after you got friend zoned, dude. When you can't take it, it's like you think you... See, the problem is you're falling under the illusion of action. You've seen too many movies where acting like a stalker and over-pursuing a woman makes her fall in love with you. It doesn't work in real life. It doesn't make your ex want you back when you start chasing her after she banished you to friend zone. All you do is give her just another boatload of reasons why sticking you in friend zone was the right decision for her. You know, it's kind of like a car. You ever seen a person get their car stuck in sand or dirt and the wheels just spin? It's like thinking, all right, I'm going to drop the car into fifth gear and really floor it, and maybe that'll get me unstuck. It just spins your wheels and makes the car get even more stuck there. That's basically what happens to a guy. So he says, the night before, she tried to be flaky and asked for the address of my place, even though I had already given it to her. The day we met, right off the bat, I could feel that she was cold and distant. That's what happens when you can't take it anymore and you think calling her, even though it's only been a few weeks, oh, it's been a couple of weeks, she'll want me back for sure then. I could feel that she was cold and distant, and her mood had made a 180-degree turn. I'm shocked, I tell you. There was a scene in the movie Casablanca, an old black and white movie with Humphrey Bogart and Grace Kelly, I think. Or Ingrid Bergman, one of the younger beautiful women that had she died very young. But there's a scene in the movie. It like takes place during World War II, or the events leading up to World War II, and so like the police chief is, he knows all this corruption, all this stuff is going on because he's always partaken of it, and of course the authorities are there, his overlords, if you will, and he's like, I'm shocked, I tell you, I can't believe that this illegal activity has been going on here. I'm shocked, and and that's basically what he's shocked, but obviously not really. And that's kind of my reaction to this. I'm not surprised at all. This is predictable. It's like when you act this way, it's that's the thing with human behavior. When you understand it, it's totally predictable. Women are totally predictable, and so are men. When you understand what they respond to, you violate the principles, and you're gonna experience pain. He says she wasn't very talkative and hardly made an effort in the conversation. I wasn't digging that, so I told her, look, I want to spend time with you and have fun, but if you don't want, I'll take you back home. That's why you don't chase, dude. That's why you walk in, you never look back. And when you go, I can't take it, I had to call her, this is what you get, dude. You did this to yourself. You fucked yourself over. So if you're upset or mad or disappointed or perplexed, the guy that you see in the mirror, yeah, it's his fault. He says she said no and that she was just overthinking things. That's her excuse for, she's just not that into you, dude. Because you didn't wait. You didn't hold out. You were weak. What do you expect? She wanted a man, and what came back? The woman. You coming back acting like a woman's not going to get anywhere, bro. He says, but I played it off with good atmosphere. Later we drank champagne and laughed, and we were cuddling, and she gave me long eye contact, and I went for a kiss, but she rejected it. No. From then it went downhill. She was cold and I couldn't handle myself, so I felt shitty. I backed off and tried, but it was to no avail. James Bond would have been ashamed of me, Corey. At one point we held eye contact for long, so I looked at her lips and her eyes, but she didn't reciprocate after that long gaze, and she looked down in submissiveness. She just wasn't feeling it, bro. This is what happens. It's like it's like putting a cake in the oven. You got to let it bake. And what happened was you put the cake in the oven and you sat out there in the living room. Have you ever seen those cartoons where people are biting their fingernails like a typewriter back and forth? That's kind of like what you did. You couldn't take it anymore. You ran into the kitchen. You opened the door. It's like, are you ready yet? And the cake just went. All the air went out of it, and you totally ruined the cake. You totally dissipated all the sexual attraction and anticipation that had built up. I mean, what happens when you take a cake out of the oven when it's only baked about half as long as you need? You put the icing on it, and you eat it. It's going to taste like shit. It's not going to be cooked properly. This is what you get. He says, everything I say is a farce to hide my true feelings from her. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up a little bit. He says, she went on saying that I'm intimidating and that everything I do in my body language. And he says, everything I say is a farce to hide my true feelings from her. She also said that she doesn't like to open up to me because every time she feels vulnerable and she wants me to open up as well, and I put my walls up and I change the subject. So she's trying to blame it on you, but what's really going on, it's your fault because you haven't acted like a man, and that's why she's not really into you. In her roundabout way, that's what's basically coming out of her. But it's coming out of her in a way because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. She's just not that into you at this point. You opened the oven too soon, bro. Did you ever see the old Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary, I think it was Pumping Iron? Lou, you peaked too soon! He says from here she started bringing up her friend from college, i.e. his replacement, and how she spent the whole Thanksgiving break hanging out with him. Yeah, she's getting her brains fucked out, dude. And you show up, Mr. Chauffeur, and you get nowhere. How them blue balls feeling, dude? They're about ready to explode right now, aren't they? He says she kept talking about him and other guys and how attractive they were. In other words, I wish you were more like those guys because at least they act like men. He says, then as I slightly broke her barriers more, she would back away and send me mixed signals. Checking me out and looking away when I caught her, bumping into me and then being distant. Finally, when I drove her home, I said to her, because she asked what was going through my mind, I said, I don't like the coldness and distance that I feel from you now. I don't feel like I know you anymore. Every time I try to be close to you, you push me away. Honestly, I'm crazy about you, and to me, you're the most beautiful girl there is. Even on dates, I don't find other girls as interesting in you. Well, this is really helping your case. It's like no amount of you wanting her to want you is going to make her want you. She has to feel it on her own. And what's going on here is you're trying to force her by making dates, thinking that just her being with you is going to make her want you more. Remember, you turned her off to the point where she didn't want anything to do with you. She was quiet and said, I feel like this is a goodbye from you. We go around in circles and it hurts a lot. Then I said, it's not a goodbye at all. I'm not going to hurt you like I did in the past and kick you out of my life. All I'm saying is that I'm crazy about you, but I'm the only one making an effort. And for this to work and to stop going in circles, you have to make an effort too. You can't force her to feel something that she's not ready to feel, dude. That's the bottom line. You're mad and you're butthurt and you're upset that she's not throwing herself at you. It's your fault. You can't put the cart before the horse, dude. It doesn't work that way. He says, otherwise it's a dull point. Then she said, but I'm the one that showed up at your house. Then she continued with, here's where she throws it back in his face. Remember, she said friends only. You said, no, call me if you change your mind. But you didn't wait for her to call you. You held out for a few weeks and you went right back to her. So in her mind, this is you acquiescing to her demand of friends only. That's why she throws it in your face. She then continued with, but I thought we agreed on a friendship. And I said, you did, I never did. But your actions communicate that you're actually agreeing to the friendship. That's why she's throwing it in your face. How can I be your friend when I find you attractive? Finally, she hit me with, would it help if I didn't contact you anymore? So I said, you can contact me, but if you want to work on things. At least you did that part right. I care about you, and I don't want to be just your friend. Now you're reiterating the same shit that you told her the last time you were together. But the thing is, when you say that, you got to mean that. That means you walk and you never look back. It doesn't mean when you can't take it after a few days or a few weeks, you call her and thinking things can be different. This is what you get. You have a total wasted evening. You're frustrated. You're pissed off. And you still don't get anywhere. She wouldn't even kiss you. How fun was that? Obviously not very. He says she was happy of that fact, and said that it took a lot of guts for me to say that to her, and that she could never gather the courage to say something like that. That's why you're a man and she's a woman. Corey, I didn't follow your advice, and look where it got me. What the fuck happened? You didn't follow my advice, bro. That's where it got you. I feel like she friend-zoned me to be with the new guy she brought up and have me on the sidelines. Yep, you were in friend-zone purgatory, and you keep fucking torturing yourself. You must like it. Thank you. May I have another? You ever see the movie Jim Carrey called Liar Liar? And he walks in the bathroom, and he's just like, he's punching himself in the face, and this guy's like watching this, and he's like, what the hell are you doing? He goes, I'm kicking my own ass. That's what you're doing. You're kicking your own ass. He says, but he must be fucking up since she still agreed to hang out and cuddle with me at my house. So any chance to salvage this? Let her come to you. Follow what I've told you and taught you previously. I'm doing everything I didn't do before. Music, working out, approaching the type of women I was afraid of approaching before. That's great. Those are all great things. But the bottom line is you still went back. He says it's helping a little to get over this shitty feeling, and I'm saving up to do a phone session later on to discuss this. The only thing you can do is walk and never look back. And if she reaches out to you, you call her, invite her over to your place. Let her come to you. Let her bring over a bottle of wine. Because what it's symbolic of is she's coming to you. She's the one that called. Therefore, it's her idea to rekindle things. It's your job to be decisive and to make dates, to get together. But you don't chase after a woman when she says friends only. Because when she says friends only and you continue to pursue, you're communicating that it's like there's a sign. It says, hey, danger, bridge is out ahead. And then you drive right off the cliff, and then you crash at the bottom of the canyon. You're like, what the fuck? Why did I crash? And she's like, hey, it said the fucking bridge was out. It's like, what do you expect? So let's get on the second guy's email. He says, hey, coach, I have a relationship predicament, and I need your advice. I'm 29. The girl in question is 25. She responded to an ad I posted on Craigslist for a room I'm renting in my house. When she came over to look at the room, there was this instant, intense, powerful attraction between us. We both felt it. That is magnificent, dude. That is magical when that fucking happens. That is like you have met somebody that you're supposed to meet. Now, if you don't behave properly and you fuck that up, those are the ones that you think about for 6 months, a year, 2 years later. Because that shit doesn't happen every day. And you need to be prepared. And that's why I say all the time, repetition is the mother of skill. You got to apply the things I teach in my book. Because when this fucking happens, if you ain't ready and you fuck it up, oh, it's going to hurt 1,000 times worse than just losing your average girl that you like. He says it's the most amazing connection I've ever felt. Suffice to say, I called her back and said I didn't think it would be good for her to move in, but that she could come over to a party I was having. She agreed and came over 2 days later, at which point our eyes locked and we didn't talk to a single other person the entire night. That is fucking magical, dude. It's like time. It's like you're the only people on the planet. That's really special. Don't fuck this kind of an opportunity up by not being prepared. If you're watching this video and you haven't read my book yet, and you're just applying the things that you're learning from my videos and they're helping you, you're fucking up because you don't know the material well enough. And when you meet a girl like this, and you don't know the material well enough, you're like, oh, I saw this thing, something Corey said in this video, and there was something else he said in another video, and I don't know what to do. Don't be that guy. He says, we kissed passionately at the end of the party. Nice fucking job, bro. This is how women envision the love story starting off. This is what you see ideally in movies. This is the way it's supposed to go when you know what you're doing. Women fantasize about this stuff, but if you don't know what you're doing, it just becomes a train wreck. The next day, she invited me to have dinner at her house, and we ended up spending the night together. Nice. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. See how magical that is? So that the third time you saw each other, what happened? Oh yeah, baby. There was no dating. We just had a simple, amazing, deep connection with each other. Hang out, have fun, hook up. That's what you did. There was nothing about relationship. There was nothing about boyfriend, girlfriend. Just two adults who had incredible attraction for one another, who had incredible chemistry, and couldn't see anybody else on the planet but each other. That's just, it's like you were the only people on the planet. It's magical. Hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. This is why I say that all the time. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Right there. What I just read to you, this previous 2 paragraphs, beautiful. This is spectacular. You can have a spectacular relationship when it starts off like this. It's amazing. It makes it really easy. Because both of you want to do what's right for the other person. He said we had a simple, amazing, deep connection with each other, totally beyond the physical. We spent the next 48 hours inseparable. At this point, she asked me to join her on a trip she had planned to her hometown. And at that, she said I should come stay in the hotel that she had rented. How nice. I agreed, and we made plans to drive down together. I'll skip the details about the trip because it went really well and we enjoyed our company immensely. Keep in mind, we've only known each other for 10 days. I know, totally crazy and totally not my normal style. This is what I'm used to, bro. This is the way it's supposed to be. And when you get used to this, you are fucking spoiled. You can have 100 hot, beautiful, sexy women that want to sleep with you, but when you ain't feeling this, it's like, when you've had this, it's like, when you get used to driving a Ferrari or a Lambo, it's like, you want to go back and drive the Toyota Camry. Now, the Camry's a nice car, but, I mean, dude, there's nothing like a fucking Ferrari, dude. There ain't nothing like the Lambo. You want the best. You deserve the best. You have to be prepared, though. Just like Confucius said, success depends upon prior preparation. Without said preparation, there is sure to be failure. The whole while, she was telling me about things that we were going to do together, how strongly she felt a connection with me, etc. Hang out, have fun, hook up. That's the only thing that you need to focus on. Now we're going to kind of start to get into where the road gets a little bumpy. I kept things pretty cool and never went overboard with my feelings, although I could feel myself falling for her. Then on the 3rd night of the trip, we started talking about past relationships. Oh, we got to get all the baggage out and all the negative things because shit's going so well. Let's just try and make it better with talking about some bad things. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Where in that phrase does it talk about our past relationships? Simple formula. Don't complicate things, dude. And I found out that she was a month out of a very intense, painful breakup. So now you're talking about her very intense, painful breakup. So you went from hanging out, having fun, and hooking up and having great sex, which kept her mind off the ex, to now we're talking about the very intense, painful breakup. Think about what emotions she's feeling now that you're talking about her very intense, painful breakup. Think about it. I asked her more questions about it, and it became clear to me that she was still very hurt. What do you think she's feeling right now? She's feeling hurt and unhappy and sad. She's thinking about the ex. She went from hanging out, having fun, and hooking up to feeling very hurt and all those emotions that went with it. And the negative emotions that she's thinking about, guess what? She starts to associate those with you. Congratulations, dude. You just totally killed the fucking vibe of a great trip. You're fucking up your love story. He says, I confronted her that maybe we shouldn't date if she's still so hurt. Come on, man, seriously? But she assured me that she was over him. However, after that point, I could tell that she was a bit more distant. Duh, you think? Hang out, have fun, hook up. And you went off the fucking rails, bro. He says, on our way back, I brought up the issue again. Oh, yeah, fucking let me throw some lemon juice and some salt in that one. Yeah, great job. How about some rubbing alcohol? Let me throw some more of that in there, too. That I felt there was something off, and she broke down and admitted she was still freshly wounded and unable to commit to me fully at this point. Ah, so you went from hanging out, having fun, and hooking up to, I gotta lock her down so she doesn't leave me. Oh, my God. Oh, man. flying along just great, and then you pull up too much in the stick and you get yourself caught in a flat spin. You keep pulling back and it just... She said we should remain friends and see where things go over time. Oh boy, that sounds exciting. To which I replied that I really wanted to date her and not just be friends. I left it with, give me a call if you feel like our connection was more than friends. Well, it was until you fucked it up and started talking about negative subjects and being a drama queen and reminding her of her very intense, painful breakup. Come on, dude. Shit. That's brutal. He says, that was 2 days ago and I haven't said anything else. I'm about to go off on a 10-day trip and I don't plan on contacting her until I get back. Illusion of action. You said, what'd you say? Give me a call if you feel like our connection was more than friends. You told her to get in touch with you. So how is you calling her when you get back congruent with that statement? All that's going to do is give her more reason to not trust your masculine core and back away. This beautiful love story was so magical. Oh. It's like when a woman brings up those, you say, you know what, we're having such a great time. It's like, fuck him. He fucked up. You're with me. We're having a great time. Let's keep doing that. And change the subject. Keep it funny. Keep it light. Keep it positive. Hang out, have fun, hook up. No drama. I know on some level I'm a rebound. My question is, if I play it right and slow things down, can I come back later and start a real relationship? Stop focusing on a relationship, dude. You were hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. You were getting the milk without having to own the cow. It's like, come on, dude. Is it possible that we really did have an amazing connection that eventually, after she heals from her last relationship, she'll want to come back? This is what the typical guy does. Things are going so great. Let me talk about some bad things here, and let me see if that all... Or am I kidding myself? Well, the connection was there, dude, but you fucking ruined it. You talked her right out of it. You went right back to the old wounds and opened them up, made her feel like shit. She shut down, withdrew. And you were focused on a relationship. It's just bad way to go. All in all, I played things pretty maturely. Really? Really, dude? Come on. You're bullshitting yourself, bro. I did express that I felt strong feelings for her, but I did so in a way that expressed a truth and not a neediness. Well, that's good. However, what was your last statement to her? You said, give me a call if you feel like our connection was more than friends. You must be congruent with that. There's nothing to do. Be a man. Be congruent with that statement. That's what you should do. Wait to hear from her. And when she hears from you, what do you assume? If it was definitely more than just a friendship thing, just be like, hey, it's great to hear from you. I would love to see you. When are you free to get together? Make a date. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Get right back to what you were doing in the beginning. When she talks about the old, say, you know what, let's not talk about the ex-boyfriend. It's really none of my business. Let's have a great time together. Hang out, have fun, hook up. That's all you need to focus on. Don't be talking about relationships, commitments. That comes after at least 2 months of dating, dude, and you cannot shortcut the process. You were doing great, and then you just went right into the minefield and stepped on every fucking mine that there was, dude. It's too bad, you know, because those really burn. They sting a lot when you fuck those kinds of situations up. But hey, you got to wait for her to come back to you. You got to hold out. How do I know? The previous guy's email, he did exactly what you were thinking about doing, which was calling her in a week or two. And look what he got. Nowhere. If you want to get the same thing, be my guest. Go ahead and call her, but you got to wait for her to reach out to you. Hang out, have fun, hook up, man. Keep it really fucking simple. It really is that simple. And read my book and date other women. You'll get it. Keep practicing. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching with me. And you can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab on any page, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.